These are my predictions for this Saturday Saudi Arabia card. Israel Adesanya versus Nassourdine Imavov. The main event is Israel Adesanya versus Nassourdine Imavov. The co-main, Shara Bullet taking on Michael Venom Page. To be honest, the rest of the card is pretty decent too. We got André Muniz taking on Ikram Aliskerov. Sergey Pavlovich is back to his best, beating up fat overweight dudes with no athleticism. I hope Jairzinho just sends him to the Shadow Realm, to be honest, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. We also have what's going to be probably one of the most technical fights on the whole card. Said Nurmagomedov taking on Vinicius Oliveira. There are other fights with the likes of Terence McKinney and Shamil Gassiev, but I don't really care about them or want to talk about it, so I'm just going to be skipping the prelims and only talking about the main card. So to kick things off on the main card, we got Naimov taking on Ultimate Fighter finalist Khan Ofli. Khan Ofli's only had one fight in the UFC, as far as I'm aware, which was the Ultimate Fighter final, in which he got left hooked by Myron Santos. I don't have much to go on in this fight, other than both guys are coming off losses, so I guess I'd have to go with the guy who's got more experience in Naimov, although I can't say I'm confident picking either, as I haven't watched them fight much. However, doing a bit of research, I'm leaning towards Naimov. He's got 5 first-round finishes out of his 11 wins. He's got a longer reach. He's got wins over Nathaniel Wood, Jamie Mullarkey, so I'm going to take Naimov by TKO. Khan Ofli just seems a little bit shit, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he'll show up and knock out Naimov and I'll just be wrong, like I have been many times before, but I look forward to being proven wrong if that's the case. So on to the second fight of the main card, we got Ikram Aliskerov taking on André Muniz. I know Aliskerov got his jaw decimated by Bobby Knuckles in his last fight, but I think he's going to do the exact same thing to André Muniz in this one. André Muniz is terrible on the feet. He got finished on the ground by Paul Craig. I don't see him hanging on the ground with this Dagestani style of pressure that Ikram Aliskerov's got. And to be honest, I'm not even sure Ikram Aliskerov will shoot a takedown. I think he'll just knock him out on the feet because Andre's stand-up is awful. So yeah, I think it'd be an absolute embarrassment if André Muniz wins this fight, and I'm going to take Ikram Aliskerov by first round finish, probably by knocking him down and then getting a ground and pound TKO or something like that. So next up we have Said Nurmagomedov taking on Vinicius Oliveira. This fight's probably going to be one of the best fights on the whole card. As much as I want Oliveira to win this fight, my brain's telling me Said's probably going to win this fight. Oliveira did beat Ricky Simone in his last fight, who's the only guy in the UFC to have finished Merab Dvalishvili. When he caught him in like a guillotine and his legs looked like he was convulsing on the floor. But yeah, it's hard for me to choose a winner between these two. Said's only really lost one fight in the UFC, which was a fight he arguably could have won against Jonathan Martinez. If Oliveira wins, it's going to be with something big, like in his debut when he threw that flying knee from halfway across the octagon. But I'm going to go with Said Nurmagomedov on this one. He's a really good striker. He can mix it up really well. If he's getting outdone on the feet, he can take it to the ground, and he's pretty good on the ground as well. So yeah, I think Said's probably going to win decision. I think Oliveira is too durable to get finished, but this is definitely going to be one of the best fights on the card, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, next up we got Sergey Pavlovich back in his element, beating up fat men. I think he's quite easily going to knock out Rosenstruik in the first round. I know Rosenstruik's only really lost to the best guys in the division, and Sergey proved he wasn't one of them against Volkov, but I just think that his reach and his power is going to be way too much for Rosenstruik in this fight. I'm pretty confident it's going to be a first round finish, probably within the first 2 minutes of the fight. But honestly, if Rosenstruik wins this fight, I am never picking Sergey to win a fight ever again. So the co-main event for me is a hard one to call. I am going to go with MVP, but I think it's going to be a close fight. Shara does have really fast leg kicks, and MVP is quite heavy on his lead leg with that karate style. So I think he will have success with leg kicks on MVP. MVP, on the other hand, is going to be faster. He's going to be more unorthodox, which is kind of weird to say because Shara's really unorthodox. But yeah, I think it's going to be quite a close fight. I think MVP will win 2-1. If Shara does win, I think he's going to just knock him clean out. But I find it hard to see that really happening unless there's wrestling involved. But I can't see Shara shooting a takedown. I don't think his wrestling's that strong. And even if it is strong, I just don't think he'll want to shoot a takedown. He never has in any other fight, I don't believe. So yeah, Shara's also quite durable. He took a really big shot from Armen Petrosian in their fight, and I'm not sure if MVP hits as hard as him. So if you can take a clean shot off him, I don't see MVP finishing him, but I do see him beating him over 3 rounds for a decision. So yeah, I'm going to take MVP by decision. But I think this or the Nurmagomedov fight is going to be the two best fights of the night by far. So moving on to the main event, we have Israel Adesanya taking on Nassourdine Imavov. I've noticed Israel's trying to get back in everyone's good books after the whole dog fetish thing, surprising the MMA world by linking up with Robert Whittaker. But despite his unusual tendencies outside of the octagon, I still think he has what it takes to beat Nassourdine inside of it. I feel like Izzy will probably be able to keep the fight at his range and defend any takedown attempts that Nassourdine throws at him. Both guys prefer to keep things standing though, and even though Izzy's been on the decline in his last few fights, I still think he's just better overall. I don't see him finishing Imavov. I still think this goes full 5 rounds. Nassourdine might have a big moment or two, throwing in some takedowns and ground and pound submission attempts. But overall, I think Izzy's experience in 5-round fights will be the deciding factor. And if he does get taken down, I feel like he's definitely going to get back up. Although after his last 2 performances, I expect Izzy to come in with a point to prove. I don't really see Nassourdine winning this fight. So yeah, that's my prediction. I'm going to take Israel Adesanya by decision over 5 rounds. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.